So whenever I make a video for YouTube, I have no idea as to how many people will end up seeing it. That is out of my hands. So most of my videos have been seen by an audience of less than 2,000 people. The odd one has gone to a much bigger audience. The biggest one so far has reached 134,000 people, and there's one that's about 40,000 people now. But the vast majority of the videos, and they all contain something that is actually pertinent to Abu Dhabi 2021, they've been seen by less than 2,000 people each. I put out a video last night and it was to evidence the fact that there is this company, F1 TV, owned by Formula One. It is the same business essentially, and they are in charge of constructing the feed that we get to see about the sport of Formula One. This is their editing studio. Look at how many screens they've got. They've got 120 video camera feeds at least, and they've got 170 audio feeds at least, and they bring all that together and decide from that what they're going to show us, and they create what they want us to see, and they create a storyline that they want us to believe. Now, if you don't believe me, well, unfortunately, you're just going to think that I'm the liar, not these guys. But that is what they're doing to us. I'm going to put a link to this particular video from a different YouTuber in the description, so you can go and watch this for yourself. The video that I put out last night has only had 1,000 views so far. And again, these videos generally grind to a halt and then people don't bother watching them through. It evidenced what these did. So I'm going to do an extremely short version of it now to summarize one of the key points. I evidence them what they do with the audio within that. I evidence that they just they pick and choose whichever audio they want to give the narrative that they want, and they were creating the narrative about tyres. So they picked out Lewis Hamilton's audio and played that to the world sometime afterwards to lead us down the line of the tyres are going to be the most important factor. The tyres are going to be the most important factor. The tyres are going to be the most important factor. When the most important factor was quite simply, is it possible to restart this race legally or not? They didn't show us that. They kept us, the watching public, disorientated. They disorientated us by not showing us the live clear-up operation so that we could judge for ourselves whether it was likely that racing was likely to be resuming, whether or not that track was going to be clear in time in order for them to then begin the unlapping procedure and then see if there was going to be enough laps left to validly resume racing. What had to happen was by the end of lap 56, those lapped cars would have had to have been released before they crossed the start finish line to begin lap 57. That was the only way that lap 57 could have been given to those released cars as that mandatory safety car lap, and that's the only way that we would have seen lap 58 as a valid racing lap. Could that not happen? Then it's a safety car finish. Lewis Hamilton's a champion, providing he keeps his car on the track. Simple as that. They didn't do that. Over the top of that was Martin Brundle and David Cross, the Sky Sports F1, lying about the sport. Okay, they are lying to us. These are the global broadcasters of the show, lying about the possibilities, drawing our attention to tyre narrative, lying about what's possible, and even lying about what it is they know. If you're a commentator of this show, in order to commentate on a sport, you need to see what it is you're commentating on. The most key aspect of this is what's going on at turn 14. How is that clear-up operation going? I need to know the timescale of that in order to know whether or not we're likely to see a resumption to racing. Show me what is going on at turn 14. You have the footage. You have 120 cameras at your disposal. You have the footage. Show me what's going on at turn 14. Then we can see and then we can determine whether or not there is likely to be a racing finish to this event. And I can articulate that to the global audience. I can explain to people what's going on there and therefore what we are likely to see. That's my job as a global commentator. If you don't show me that, you're preventing me from doing my job. Watch this. There are at least 4 camera angles at turn 14. This is one camera from this position here pointing at the crash site. So that's one camera angle. This is another camera angle. We're at turn 15, looking back at turn 14. This can clearly show you what is going on at this location. This is back to that first camera angle, just a close-up showing the debris on track. This is the aerial view, so whether this is a drone cam or on one of these high lifting arms, I don't know, but it's a third angle. Again, this is slightly higher, same camera, but that third angle again. Same one, but this one it's dropped down, still that third camera angle. This is the fourth camera angle. This is a camera that's actually on the crash barrier. This is Latifi coming in, his tail end hitting the barrier back first. So this is a fourth different view. There's 4 different cameras as a minimum that can capture what is going on at turn 14 that they don't show us. And this is Latifi's car come to a standstill with the debris on the track. Back to the camera angle 1. And then this is the only thing that they show us of the recovery operation, the crane finally lifting that off track. Now, what you can see in the bottom right hand corner is the tracker view, and Lewis Hamilton is coming towards turn 10. This remains on screen until Hamilton gets to about turn 12, almost turn 13. And then they cut away to a replay. So whilst we're seeing this, we don't know where the cars are relative to this, unless you've got a Hawkeye and you're looking at tracker view at the bottom there. So again, it's disorientating us. We're seeing this image on screen. Is this live? When is this happening? Is it now clear to go racing? What's going on? We don't know, but all the time we then cut away to the replay. We're getting the verbal diarrhea from from Brundle and Crofty, and they're keeping us guessing as to what we're going to see. Are we going to see now a racing resume? Can this happen? Can that happen? What's going to happen? All the time disorientating us. And then this is the aerial view of that front brake catching fire. And then this view is that camera that's at turn 15 again, looking back at the incident, and we can clearly see this is them coming round, completing lap 56, that lap which they needed to have released the lapped cars on in order to have any chance of a racing finish. The lapped cars, all 8 of them, had to be released on this lap and be ahead of the safety car before that safety car goes on to lap 57. Okay, and they all had to have passed him before, and it's only got 2 corners to go, and it's then past the start finish line. There's still marshals on the track, so they could not release the lapped cars on lap 56. It just wasn't possible. And you'll see here, this is the close-up. This is the final marshal jumping over the barrier. His broom is still on track. Max Verstappen is level with where those marshals are at turn 14. There is no way the clerk of the course can declare that track safe yet, because he's still got to ensure all of the marshals are in a safe position before he radios back to race control to say, yes, the track is now clear for you to begin your procedures. Only then can the race director then give the notification to all of the cars, all of them, both the lapped cars and the remaining competitors, say lapped cars are now allowed to unlap. So the cars that are on the racing line, you stay on the racing line and allow these lapped cars to pass you. They're not going to complete this now before we get onto lap 57. With lap 57 being the earliest lap that is possible, it means it's a safety car finish. I'm going to show you how Formula 1 disorientated you even further. And never forget, this is what they look like. This is what they are doing to us. They've got these images. It's down to them what they choose to show us. So, as quick as we can, Brundle, tracker view.
Will we get any more racing laps or not? What jeopardy at the end of this Grand Prix, the end of this World Championship. Will there be any more racing laps? If there are, then Verstappen has got the tyres.
If there's any more racing laps, Verstappen has the tyres. I keep telling you, tyre narrative. Okay, Lance Stroll, the green dot at turn 14. Let's have a look at his driver camera. So where is Stroll? There he is. Look at this. We've just passed the crane. Now let me just go back.
Extinguisher smoke.
Coming round turn 14. Marshall's running. Clearly, the crane is just driving onto the track to remove Latifi's car. Okay? 1 hour, 31 minutes, 44 seconds. If we do, Verstappen has the tyres. Let's go back to track of view.
To really do something with them. Will they let the lap runners through?
Well, they always do let the lap runners through. And in between Hamilton and Verstappen, Norris, Alonso, Ocon, Leclerc and Vettel.
Yes.
Just 5 cars, not 8, Crofty.
But if they do that, it extends the safety car period.
But that's what they always do, take the lap runners out of the way so they're not interfering in play.
What's the situation behind me?
So, situation is, Verstappen has pitted, he had a free pit stop, we would have lost track position to him. 4 laps remaining when you cross the line. So this field has to bunch and then they have to send lap cars through, so it may not restart.
Is he right behind me?
He will be, once they've sorted out all the order. This is going to take a while to sort out.
It might be.
My longer video shows you when that message actually took place. F1 TV have chosen that to play to you, to me, to the world, to create this narrative about the tyre situation.
With new tyres.
Copy Lewis, we would have lost track position if we had pitted.
And that was the big key here. Mercedes, for the second time, keeping Lewis Hamilton out, whilst Max Verstappen pitted. Red Bull had nothing to lose. Hamilton potentially losing track position, and in this case, if we don't go racing again because you can't overtake under the safety car, he would have lost the World Championship.
Is there a vehicle pulling the Williams out of the way or not yet?
Is there a vehicle pulling the Williams out of the way or not? Well, this green dot of Stroll has now just come around turn 7. We saw when Lance Stroll was at turn 14 on the previous lap that there was a vehicle on the track pulling Latifi's car out of the way, or that was its job.
Can't see it at the...
They can't see. Brundle and Crofty claim that they can't see. The time here is 1:33:01. In this bottom corner of the time, 1:33:01. They are claiming that they can't see. These are the people that should be telling you what is possible in this race. These are the global commentators of this sport, and they can't see. The time when Lance Stroll went by that incident was 1:31:44. We're now at 1:33:01. That is a minute and 17 seconds later. That's 77 seconds after we know that there was a crane on the track to remove his car. Sky Sports F1 are claiming that they don't know whether there is or not because they can't see. That's their job. They are disorientating us. Is there a crane on there removing that track? We don't know. What jeopardy? What's happening, everybody? Stay on the edge of your seat. Get excited. This is disorientating you. It's disorientating me. We don't know. They do, though. The sport of Formula One does. These guys know. They're not showing you. This is what they're doing to you. This is what they're doing to me. They are hiding the truth. And that is exactly what they're doing. They're lying because they're creating the narrative. And I can show you. I've not done this. I'm just going to go onto the cameras now. Nicholas Latifi. Let's have a look what we can see from Latifi's car camera. There's no cars at turn 14 now. Let's have a look. Oh, what's going on here? This is Nicholas Latifi's car looking at the bay. So it's clearly on that crane being craned away. Is there a crane on track removing that crashed Williams car? Don't know, can't see. Funny that. Funny that you can't tell the viewer what is going on. We were lied to. We were lied to. They did it on purpose to disorientate us. They lied about the rules. They lied about what was going on. And then all of a sudden, the race director is doing something that's confusing and none of us know. It's confusing. It's all part of their narrative. Start seeing through it. Please share this video. Please make others see. I'm hoping that as a shorter format, people are more willing to invest the time into watching it rather than it being over an hour where a lot of people won't. I can't tell because the biggest video I've got is an hour and 45 minutes long. And yet you do a 15-minute one and it might only get seen by less than 1,000 people. I don't know what the formula is, but eventually we're going to have to start waking everybody up so they can see what's really going on. So please share it. Please keep subscribing. Please keep liking the videos. I appreciate the support from all you good people out there, and we will make a difference. Thank you for your time.